Oi, it's me again. I don't have a particular point that I want to make with this, but then I do know what I want to talk about in general, and that's the pedal stuff. Today I ordered some parts to be no, I'm not going to be particular because that is something that I'm actually quite not nervous, but slightly afraid of it, I guess. Is people, understanding the parts within the pedals that I'm trying to make, because the parts are very simple. So I don't want people to take apart the pedals and then notice how simple they are and then kind of back off from, purchasing the pedals, or, you know, or like them opening the pedals up, right? And then seeing that they're really simple and then kind of like slagging them off a little bit, kind of like, you know, running them through the dirt a little bit, you know. But then one way I will try to combat that, or one way I'll try to stop that from happening, is by pricing them at like a very fair, point. Because I feel like it would be unfair to kind of sell very simple, stuff at like a crazy price, you know. And you could make the argument that, it's not necessarily about how simple the parts are, but then it's about how, you know, how amazing the final product is. The final product being the sound and the capabilities of the pedal. That I still feel like people are gonna have an issue with, the cost being significant, all the while the components being incredibly simple. Like, I'm talking incredibly simple. I don't know a thing about building pedals, right? So the I don't even want to call it design, because it really is just taking an established thing and then just slapping it onto the pedal. So yeah, my the circuits and whatnot are going to be very simple. So I don't want to piss people off, with that. A part of me was thinking about like Goop in them. I know Goop is very popular. Not the Ben 10 alien, even though he is my favorite. Like gooping. That was a terrible joke. Gooping the insides of a pedal to hide particular, circuit design. That's like a thing that builders make to prevent people from, copying their pedals and stuff. So I was thinking of doing that, not out of the fear of like people copying my quote unquote design, even though there's no design. Like I said, I just slapped something onto a pre-established thingamajig. Then it's to like prevent people from seeing just how simple it is, you know. I'm gonna need a lot of goop, you know. So yeah, I bought parts today. Let me check if I still have battery. Yeah, I have battery. I have 12% left. I bought parts today, and I was just thinking about that one. I'll try to link it, even though YouTube removes links that are not, links from YouTube, because it takes you off of their website. Meaning that, less interaction, less engagement, less money for them ultimately. So I'll try to link it, and hopefully YouTube will keep it on. Yeah, I was just thinking about that one video that Kid Cudi made. And when I say video, I mean like he literally just took out his phone and then he was talking to us. He was talking to anyone who was willing to listen. He was just talking about how, like, casually, he was laying on his bed and just talking about how he became the artist that he is today, and he's very successful. You've heard of Kid Cudi, man. Yeah, he was just talking about how you have to be like a little crazy, if you want to achieve dreams and stuff. So yeah, so I tried to heed his words and be a little crazy. Thing is, though, I do think there's a fine line between being crazy, like being adequately crazy, and then just being flat out irresponsible, you know. And that line is very blurred, at least for me, you know. So I'm just trying to navigate through that. One thing I don't want to do is just to sit here and I'm in awe for like forever, you know what I mean? Just like constantly in a state of idling, that's one thing that I don't want to do. So I decided to act and like get some parts today. Even though that did take like a proper knock, or like it did like a proper number on my pockets, then yeah, it's for the greater good. I just hope that these pedals catch on. Right now I'm thinking about how I am gonna need a media presenter, and I say it like that because I don't think I'll be able to do this without a face, you know. By that I mean like an appropriate face for the business or the idea, or whatever. I don't think my face will cut it. I don't think my voice will cut it. My audience on my main channel, they don't respect me. You laugh, but it's true. I don't know if you guys actually laughed there. Yeah, it's true. That might be because I've given them reason not to respect me. You know. Yeah, I need to blame myself at the end of the day. Like it, and a creator's audience is only a reflection of themselves or themselves. You know what I mean? Like if you're constantly making edgy jokes, your audience is going to be a very edgy audience. If you like produce very sophisticated content, your audience is going to be full of like thinkers and sophisticated people. So because my content is very, well, at least my style, not necessarily my content, but then the way I present myself and my content, it's just very silly. It's unserious. It's just one big joke. You know what I mean? So obviously, the audience is gonna reflect that. The audience is gonna be very unserious towards anything that I have to say, or anything that my content has to say. So that's why I feel like it's extremely necessary, or maybe necessary. I don't know if I'm being redundant by saying extremely necessary, but it's necessary for me to just have a media presenter on some Watch Mojo type stuff. Like a face. Yeah, that's one thing. I think about that every day, actually. Every day I think about how I need to find someone who'd be open to, you know, doing that. Someone local, preferably, someone whose like place or whose house I can just like walk to, or like, travel to, like in like a reasonable fashion, and just like shoot content with. if need be, you know, shoot. I'm looking at the time. Yeah, I notice it's 10 minutes. I don't know how long I want this video to run for. Yeah, someone I could just, you know, go up to and like shoot, you know, material for the pedals and stuff. So right now I have like a couple of ideas. I have the pedals. I've got, in fact, I've got two ideas. No. Like a couple of ideas for the pedals. So that's like a subheading. Within the pedal, within the idea of the pedals, I've got like a couple of ideas for the different effects, right? Or the different functions. And then another main idea is this thing that I'm calling the albums in a box. You know, they're like these little small. I'm doing this with my hand as if you can see. These little, like hold on, like 5x3, 5x3, you know, enclosures. It, like the name says, it's like a little device that plays an album. That's one idea that I'm going to bring to life within the next year. It's September now of 2025, 2026. I'm getting these in my hands. In fact, I might get them in my hands like right now, actually, like within 2025 is what I mean. And then the other main idea is I keep forgetting the third one. It's pedals, albums in a box. Oh yeah, and the the NFC cards, the music cards. Yeah, those are three ideas that I'm really praying catapult me to success, you know, because I'm not banking on some employer to pay me, especially not in my country where, like, in South Africa, where the unemployment rate is one of the greatest in the world. You know, I'm kind of using that as fuel, to be honest with you. I'm kind of using that as a reason for me to succeed by my own means. I didn't like the idea of working for some bastard anyway. I don't care if like the unemployment rate was, you know, non-existent, you know. Yeah, I'm just not the kind of person who really like goes by the rules type shit. I'm joking, man. But yeah, I would like to gain success off of my own means. You know, obviously God is behind me. What I mean is, like, I'm not looking for some employer to give me everything that I want, you know. Yeah, I think I should cap this video off at 15 minutes. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I don't know the first thing about building pedals, but I do feel like buying the equipment is how you learn, you know. My plan right now is to like get that equipment and then go to like a couple of colleges around town, around the city, and then just sit down with a couple of the electronic engineer students or lecturers, and just ask them for like an hour of their time, because I don't think it will take long for me to, or long for anyone to get like an understanding on how to connect A to B. You know what I mean? So once I get a grasp on how to do that, I'll just start doing it on my own. Yeah. Couple of stuff going through my head right now. But God got my back, man. God got my back. And yeah, just want to make really cool products for music enjoyers, music makers. Yeah. Let's go.